Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the live webinar that we have here today. So my name is Jun Liang. I'm the senior trainer with the Amazon Seller Education team. And then I will have Sean joining us as well later from the onboarding specialist, Amazon Global Selling team. So today we're going to talk about what are the so-called the golden 90 days of growing your business with Amazon. All right, before we begin, right, I just want to let you all know that the recording is actually available at our official YouTube playlist, including the one that you are watching right now. So if you miss out any key concept or etc. links that you want to reference to, you can actually watch it on the link over there you see. These links are also shared in the follow-up emails that is sent automatically as well to all of you after the session. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. We'll try to answer it at the end of the session. And last but not least, what we are showing today is accurate as of today. So if let's say you were to watch this recording a couple of months down the road, I would strongly encourage you to refer back to Seller University or Seller Central Help for the latest information, especially for things like the policy changes, etc. Right? If not, you can always look for the newer videos that is being uploaded, so to get the latest information. These are just some important notice. Let's just take maybe 5 seconds to read through it quickly. So back to the topic. So this is just to share an overview of how huge that we have a global network in Amazon to support your business globally. It's across 20 over plus markets, and then across 27 or more right now languages supported, reaching to almost more than 200 countries in the world. And we have about 400 over fulfillment centers globally. So globally, especially for our RSEA, which means rest of Southeast Asia, sellers like yourself can take advantage of the huge global network that is across globally. And then we have some of the services that is being offered as well. All right, so let's head right through in. So these are the contents that I'll be covering today. Okay, so this gives you an overview of what a typical 90 days of onboarding with Amazon looks like. We'll go through the specific portion, which I think is critical or important for newer sellers like yourself. So, and of course, there are other more in-depth topic that you can dive into, but this is an overview that to help you understand what we call the 90 days of onboarding with Amazon looks like. All right. First of all, you will start with your market and product selection. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit about the market in Amazon.com. And then at the end of the session, I'll be also sharing a tool that will help you do your research on what kind of products that you think you want to actually sell and to see whether there's any demand or whether is it a product that you think will be a good selling product based on the Product Opportunity Explorer tool. So this is the consumer persona in the USA. Now, typically it consists of typically a housewife, office staff, and workers. All right, these are typically the three main customer groups that we see. And then their consumption characteristics are like, you know, what I mentioned here, medium to high level of consumption. And these are the popular items that we see in the North American market. They are mainly the computers and consumer electronics products, and apparel and accessories, furniture as well. And you can see these are the diverse catalog that Amazon is having over in Amazon.com market. So you can see across what we name it like hardline, softline, and consumables category across. These are all the different product categories that you can think of, and it's also available on Amazon.com for the consumers over there. So when you search for potential products, right, these are the things that you should take note of. So certain things that is considered restricted, you have to make sure that it's meeting the regulation of the marketplace that you are trying to expand to. For our case, is the Amazon.com, which is the America. All right, make sure that you comply with all the applicable import and export laws and also Amazon policies. Then you might need to consider the needs and the shopping behavior in American consumer context. So unlike Singapore, where there's usually only one seasons, in the US, there's 4 seasons across the different states. So that is something that you have to take note of as well. And these are some of the products and the trends that we see. Okay, so that's one of the way that you can search for so-called the best selling product on Amazon. I can show you where you can find it. So when you go to Amazon.com, on top of the navigation selection on top, you can see there's an option called best seller. All right. So if you click on that, you can see the bestseller, new releases, mover shakers, and the most wished for items. Right. You can also further nail down into the different department that you want to. So this kind of give you an idea of what are the popularity or what are the most common product based on the ranking that is being updated on a frequent basis. This can give you an idea of what the market over there is like and what kind of product is usually being sold there to kind of test out your ideas as well. All right, next I'm going to talk about the logistic and the payment methods. So to break down in the cost structure over here, so you need to know there's a couple of things like your fixed costs, variable costs. And then the fixed cost is something like your seller account monthly fee. So for seller who's on professional selling account, you should know that's 39 and 99 USD for the account. And then for the individual personal account, it is 0.99 USD per sales. So there's other variable costs such as things that you need to take note, your production costs, the Amazon commission fee, which is the different product has a different referral fee. And then your transportation logistic, how much you need to take into account when you want to ship it to the US from whatever your manufacturing plant or your warehouse is, and the FBA storage fee, and also the FBA fulfillment fees. All right. So lastly, you also want to take into account your advertising and branding. Things like your trademark registration, how much you're going to spend on ads to promote your product. So this basically gives you an idea on the cost structure breakdown. All right. So the commission fee, which is what we call the referral fee, is shown over here. You can have a look. I'll be sharing the link as well later. So different types of the product category will have different fee involved. So next, that's your fulfillment cost. So do know that the FBA storage, there's a fee involved. It's not like a free for use warehouse. So all your storage or all your inventory there will incur a fee. If it's been there for too long, it may have a higher fee. So there is a link on the breakdown of the different types of fee for the storage as well that I will share. The marketing costs and other costs you need to take note of, such as the disposable fee if you were to have to dispose your items. All right. So after taking in all these so-called fees, then the rest will be your profit. So to help you to decide, or rather to plan on that, there is free-to-use revenue calculator online. You can check with this QR code to go online. So over there, right, you can kind of get an estimate, do a very top line estimate as well, based on what are the products that you want to sell, or you can find a similar product based on the ASIN. And then you can put in your cost of the item and the other info that's requested there. So it'll give you an idea of what are the revenue that you can get based on the products that you are planning to sell on Amazon.com. So I would say always to buffer in a little bit more to kind of cover the unforeseen costs that might appear. So this will give you an idea on whether or not the product you want to sell can make a profit. So I would strongly encourage you to go test it out. So I'm going to talk about the fulfillment by FBA right now. Now, again, if you have any question, please feel free to put into the Q&A box. So these are the two main fulfillment methods that we have over here. Now, the first one is fulfillment by seller. Sometimes it's been called FBM. So what it means is that sellers will have to do all the fulfillment by themselves, from the order picking to sending and getting the shipment to the your customers. So everything will be done by the sellers themselves. All right, you can see the difference here. And then the next one is fulfilled by Amazon, where we call, in short, the FBA. So for this fulfillment method, right, Amazon will handle the pack, ship, etc. On behalf of the seller with a fee, of course. And then for any questions that the customer have, they will also be able to get back and reply to them on their local languages within 24 hours. So you don't have to handle any customers' questions by yourself if you are engaging Amazon as your fulfillment method. Besides that, the return is also managed by Amazon. So Amazon will be the one that is responsible to collect any returns that a customer may have for those that is fulfilled by Amazon. So this is a comparison that you can see. All right. So you can see how easy for you in the middle, where Amazon takes care of all your very operational kind of tasks once your inventory reaches the FBA warehouse. These are some of the benefits as well. So the top benefit that we see is most useful for our sellers is this: you get to save a lot on the logistic costs. You get to improve performance and reduce the account risk. For FBA, for products fulfilled by FBA, is usually shipped within like 2 to 3 days, and even I think 2 hours as well, depending on what kind of the product. So with the fulfillment by FBA, you also get to be able to help to boost your conversion rate, which is your sales. There will be a higher chance for you of winning the buy box. The buy box is like the add to cart that you normally see the moment you look at the product itself. So these typically increase a lot of the conversions when your product actually appear as part of the winning the buy box. All right, and lastly, it will help you to optimize your revenue. Especially during peak seasons, Amazon would have the scale to help you manage your huge number of sales during the peak seasons in the US. Okay, next I'm going to talk about brand registry. This is something you can consider during your first 90 days as well. Building a brand, and then there will be protection tools to help your business grow as well. So this is the guideline of the brand development roadmap that we see. Once you have your brand registry enrolled, meaning that you register your brand in the Amazon brand registry, you'll be able to unlock a lot more features to help promote your brand further. Things like your A+ content. You can create your own stores on the Amazon.us to showcase your products and your brand story as well. And then you can also run other sponsor ads such as the sponsor brands, sponsor display. Next, you get to access a whole lot more of data, what we call the brand analytics, for you to deep dive further. And last but not least, you get to have your trademark protected. Right, if all that sounds a little bit complicated to get your trademark, we do have programs such as this IP Accelerator that you can find. So the link is there. I will share at the end as well. So there will be a few other companies that that we have to connect you with. You can select to help you start your trademark journey, your brand registry journey on Amazon. Now we have some new incentive for new sellers in 2023. So do note that these incentives are for sellers who list their first viable ASIN on or after the March 1st this year and are enrolled in brand registry. All right. So if you are before March 1st, 2023, you might be on the 2022 incentive program. So that is something you can go and search for if you are in that category of sellers. Now, for the 2023 benefits, these are the benefits that you have. So there'll be rewards for 5% up to 50,000 on your sales, or so-called up to 1 million in revenue for the year, whichever comes first. There's also a $200 credit for Amazon buying program. All right. And to help you scale your business, there's also $50 promotional clicks for you to use on your Amazon sponsored product, and also $100 credits in inventory shipping for using FBA to fulfill your products. Additionally, there's also $50 in the coupon credits that you can use to run your promotions. So more information can be found there. So these are just the key benefits. There's a few other benefits that you can see on the website itself. So next is on the product listing that I want to share. So to do your due diligence, you might want to know whether or not the product that you want to list, whether they need certain approval. So these are just a simple overview. There's a lot more on the website as well. Now, the first column are the things, the product that is no approval required, meaning you can list it and then you can sell it on the marketplace. So on the second and third columns, there will be some approval required, meaning that you need to get some documentations or certifications from the regulatory authority in the US. So things like baby product, beauty, health and personal care, etc. All right. And then the last column are the things that typically need approval. These are those things like grocery, fine jewelry, video, DVD, and some watches. Yep. So this flow kind of give you an idea going through. All right. So before listing, you can think, whether or not you need a catalog approval, meaning your product doesn't need additional approval. And then if it's a branded product, do you have the brand, or do you want to list it as generic? Or do you already have a registered trademark? And then things like the product identifier, does the product already have a GTIN, a UPC, or other code that is required? If not, right, you need to buy one from the GS1. So these are all the consideration that you should take note of before doing your listing. All right, only then you will be able to list your product and then move on to optimize your listing. All right, this is what I was saying, the product ID, and what are some of the common error if you were to experience it. All right, so first of all, you have to use the standard product identifier code, right? The other one is, let's say if your product do not need a code, maybe things like your handmade product or some private label product that you don't need or not required, so you can apply for your GTIN exemption for product without the barcodes. All right, so let's say if you were to list something and you will encounter some error like 5665, it means that your product requires certain approval. So don't worry, it will actually pop up if it detect that the product category needs the approval, and then it will tell you how you can go about doing that. So in this error, it just means that you're listing something that is actually part of a brand registered brand. So you might need to do the necessary, maybe enroll in brand registry if you already have. If not, you might need to contact the seller support if the cases are not applicable to you. So this is more about optimizing your product listing. Let's say if you already successfully listed your product, these are the key items that we see over here, things you can optimize. Right, the product image, make sure your product has a good quality image that can be zoomed in and still be clear. Run any types of the pricing and promotion, and it will appear as well here. So if you have a lot of different variation, do put it in during your listing, so it will also appear on the same listing. It will give your customer a lot more choices without having to shift to the other listing page. And then about 5 clear bullet points, be concise. All right. So there's a other topic which we go a little bit deep into the product listing. So I won't be going too deep into in this session, but you just have to be aware that there are a lot the other things that you can optimize, such as your product name, your listing product title, etc. All right. So we are at the so-called the day 31 to 60, and then we will talk about the creating your store and the A+ content. So this is applicable for brand owners, for sellers who are registered in the brand registry. So you can see that this site looks way better than the typical listing because they are using the A+ content feature, where you can do a lot more instead of just basic images and the bullet points. So on your own page, the store, you can create your own categories to showcase your product. All right, your own banner, your brand story you want to tell, and then showcase your different product in the page. This is something that can only be unlocked if you are a brand owner. All right, so further down during your last, 61 to 90 days, something that is good to note that you can start to create promotions. Right. So there are three main benefits. One of the key promotion tools you can use are the coupons. It helps to improve your conversion rates, enhance your product impression, because when your product are being appear, it will actually show that there's a coupon discount, etc. So it, in a way, kind of increase your click-through rate, your CTR. Oops. No, that's just a reference, yeah. So this is where the place that the coupon will be displayed. You can see it's across the different pages. It will be in the search results, the product detail page, and the coupon homepage. All right. So you can see these are all the areas that when you run your promotion, right, your customers will be able to see all the relevant promotions for your ASINs for your product. All right. Right, this is something I talked about in the earlier slides about the new seller incentive. So that should be all regarding the 90 days. So do plan for the shopping season, and our Prime Day is coming soon as well. So these are the general calendars of events that usually appear annually. So Prime Day are usually like on June, July-ish kind of dates. Right, the date is usually not known until about maybe a few weeks before the actual day. But don't worry, you can still participate in like the next biggest event is the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So these dates are usually can be found on the website. I think this year is 24 November for Black Friday and Cyber Mondays. Okay, I hope you are still with me. I'm going to talk about this product opportunity tool. So if you're on the selling professional selling plan, you will get access to this product opportunity explorer tool. All right, so this tool helps you understand your customer search and purchasing behavior. You can evaluate whether there's any demand for the product that you're interested in and find your product niche. All right. All right, this is where you can find the product opportunity explorer tool. So yeah, if possible, maybe I can just show a demonstration later. All right. Okay, I think these are the typical metric that you can see as well. I won't touch through each of this point. I will see what I can demo later on these items. So the best is I would say you can go through and use it if you have access to it, and then to familiarize with what are the metrics over there that can help you decide your niche and the trend. Okay, let me see. Let me share my screen on my browser. Give me a moment. Let me see. Okay, I just share my browser. Let me know if you can't see it. So if you have access, this is how Seller Central looks like. Right on the top, you go to Growth, and then you go to Product Opportunity Explorer. Okay, this is where you can find it. So typically, they will show like what are the current, niche in the countries. So over here on the top right drop down, these are the current market that is being supported over here. All right, and of course, we are looking at US right now. So let's say if you want to find any product niche, I see we have quite a few people here. So if there's any specific product, you can put a Q&A. We can go through it. Anyone want to share what kind of product niches you want to try to search here? Anybody? You can put it on the Q&A. Let me see. Nobody. I don't know. Maybe let me try. Water bottle. Right. Okay, you can see. So for example, I'm going to just search for water bottle. Wow. All right. So you can see these are so-called, the result that we get. What are the top search terms? So if I want to further deep dive into it, I can see things like in the past 360 days, what are the search volumes? Okay, what is the growth in the past 180 days? Etc. over here. So if you are not sure what does it mean, you just need to mouse over on the top. They will tell you what is the metric definition. All right. So maybe I go into water bottles. You can further deep dive into this. Right. Can see it's rated like, the 98, rank 98 in the number of the top click products. What's the average price of a typical water bottle? Just click into any one that you think you want to look at further. So on top here, I'll go through the things like the search terms, some insights that you can see. What are the trends? All right, this one is the trend. We also can see. Okay, so there are different metrics that you can include as well. Hold on. Okay. Yep. So based on the trend for, I think, how long is this? This is, I think, about the past year trend. Past two. Okay. Yeah. Past year trend. Can do a year-over-year comparisons. And then there is something like a customer reviews insight as well. So this is something interesting. You might look at the, for water bottles, what are the typical negative reviews. So most of the negative reviews revolve around the leakage, durability, ease of cleaning. Something you can take into consider when you are doing your product research. If these are some of the pain points or bad negative experience that you can improve on, you might be able to find your niche product, right? And then of course, the other positive ones over here, that what people typically see good when they are using, these products. All right, there's a whole lot more here. You can see. Okay, I'm going back to the first one. And then you can also click into it for specific product itself. We will also go in to deep dive further on the specific ASIN. Assuming you have a competitor or you have a product you try to emulate, then that is something you can take a look as well. Okay, there's a lot more that you can play around, so I would suggest you to go and check it out. Right, the next thing here is the revenue calculator I shared earlier on. Okay, so let me just find an example. Okay, let's say I want to sell this water bottle, right? All right, I'm just going to take an example to use this ASIN as an example. All right. Right. So this gives you a quick overview of some of these pre-filled things based on the ASIN. Of course, you can customize it accordingly. Right, put in all your information that you are aware of and try to put in some buffer. All right, so it will give you a breakdown on the cost for Amazon fulfillment and the cost for your own fulfillment methods over here. All right. Now the disclaimer is, of course, is assuming you put in all the right information, it will be as accurate as what you are putting in. Okay. So at the end of this calculation, it will show you what is your potential net profit or what's the margin. All right. All right. There are some other feature here. You can define your product if you know the dimension, or you can do some estimation in bulk. But yeah, play around this revenue calculator. So this one, you don't need an account and you can actually use it. It's available as well. Okay, let me go back to my presentation slides. Where is it? Hold on for a minute. Okay. Okay. So coming back, right. Yeah, so coming back just now, the Opportunity Explorer, right? There's, if you think those niches are not useful or what, you can give them your feedback. There is also a way for you to request certain metric if needed to. You can try it. Okay. Now, before we end, I also want to share with you this quick one-pager. For those who are interested, it's just a one-pager PDF, and inside the PDF, there are also some links as well. All right, so do the QR code and scan it. It's a PDF format. So this is where you can find Seller University information, where you can get a lot more topics. If you have access to Seller Central, it will help you track your progress in terms of your topic, your learning progress insight directly. Okay, now we'll open the floor for the Q&A. So I will go through some of the questions from the registrant first. And then let me see, I do have Sean online as well to help with some questions. So these are the questions that I extracted in the morning. So if you sign up in the, in the morning after I extracted, some of the questions may not appear here, then you might want to put in the Q&A box, right? So one of the questions we got is, what are the most effective PPC when launching new product and how to optimize ads effectively? So I will just share, like, based on my personal experience, right? For a start, you can try to launch the sponsored product first for your new product, and then put it on automatic targeting dynamic bids for maybe about $10 per day as the campaign budget. Run it for about a month so that there's enough information that you can collect across the month. And with that data, you can deep dive into that campaign ad group to look at what are the most common search terms. Assuming you do have sales from that campaign, you can try to deep dive further, which are the keywords, search term that brings you most sales. And then what are the placement that appear mostly that helps you with your most number of sales. So I would say there's no one fixed strategy that works for every product or every seller. It really depends on the product and also what are the, your experience in running ads that could help as well. So there is a very good case study in the Prime Day ads one-pager link, one of the link I shared before. So inside there's another link where one of the sellers share about his ads optimization strategy. So again, what works for that seller may not work for you. So that's just to give you more understanding on how and what you can do to optimize your ads. All right, the other question is, we have product listing. Do we need to pay monthly for the listing we have? All right, so the question is not very clear initially, I think, but these are the things that we think that is good to make it clear. So there are no fees for listing your products, all right? However, if you're on the professional plan, there is a monthly fee of $39.90 USD. And with that, you also get access to some of the tools like the Product Opportunity Explorer. So for the individual plan, right, it's 0.99 USD referral fee per unit sold. All right. So if you are thinking that one month you are going to sell at least 40 units, then it might be more worthwhile to actually get the professional plan instead. Okay, so I hope I understand your questions. If not, feel free to put in the Q&A to clarify these questions if you are here. So the next question is, I'm in distribution of a supplement locally. I assume it's Singapore. So I want to sell on Amazon. What are the possibilities? I'm also going to assume you are saying Amazon.com. All right. So in short, right, you can definitely expand to Amazon.com for your supplement business. However, as I mentioned in the first few slides, right, there are some documentation and certification required for things like, supplement, anything that you have to consume or apply on your skin. Usually that requires certification for the relevant authorities. Yeah. So that is something you can research on as well. It's also in our website. So yeah, the possibility is endless. All right, let me see any other questions. Meanwhile, I need your help while I'm looking at the questions. Can you help me do a quick anonymous poll so that we can understand how we are doing and what kind of topic you're interested? This is purely anonymous, so feel free to share your feedback with us. So I just launched the poll. Appreciate you can do it for me. Thank you. So the question is, advertising require as subscriber as pro account. So I believe your question, you mean that whether or not running ads require a professional account. All right, that's the first question. Now the second one is, any specific regulation need to fulfill for non-medical listing? Okay, first question, as far as I'm aware, Sean can jump in. The advertising to access to run ads, right? You need to have a professional selling account. Then you will be able to unlock the ads. What do you call that? Ads console, campaign console. Yeah. All right. And then the next one is, any specific regulation need to fulfill for non-medical listing? Still, this is a little bit too generic. Non-medical listing. Now, I would say in summary, you can go ahead and list it. When you are doing a listing, just put in the information that you know your product is relevant to, what product. And then if what do you call that, a requirement is required, right? They will do either a pop-up or they will send some emails, and you can go to account health to check. Then they will tell you that, oh, this so-and-so product requires certifications or documents to get it approved. All right. So yeah, it's hard to really tell because, as you know, US regulation, etc. In fact, for all regulation policy, it get changes, from time to time. So what is applicable may not be applicable like few days down the road, etc. Yeah. So to your question, yeah, you can try to list it first. And then if it requires documentation or approval certification, right, they will prompt you to upload it. Yeah. If not, right, those category that I shown earlier, there are some category which doesn't require any kind of approval. All right. Any other questions from anyone? Let me see. Okay. Thanks for your submission on the poll. If not, right, I will leave it here for a few moments for you to look through. We have some other topics coming up in June, and then in July, we have more new topic as well. So again, if you close this webinar, there will be some surveys as well, just for you to put in longer feedback if you have any. So things like, what are some of the topics that you wish to see? We will try to take that feedback in and come up with newer topics. So to register that, you can go to the first QR code to register for more upcoming events, or you can view the past recording on the second QR code. And then the fourth one is the way, or rather the link that you can go to Seller University. And if you're not on Seller Facebook community yet, do check it out. There are a lot of sellers like yourself who is very active on the community that can help you with some other question as well. All right, I don't see any more questions. So I really thank you everyone for your afternoon time with me. I'll see you on the next live webinar. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.